Here, having some tech difficulties. Let me fix some shit up real quick. I'll be back.
24 hours away from fight night at Wembley Arena. Oleksandr Usyk and Derek Chisora do battle at a heavyweight. Whole host on the undercard on Sky Sports pay-per-view as well. Today is the weigh-in, and we'll be taking you through Darren and I, as always. Events this afternoon. We've got 7, I think, on the card. A couple of dropouts, as you may have heard. How you doing, mate? You look like you got something on your mind. What's up?
I've just been thinking about this fight quite a bit recently. Thinking about
the main event.
The main event, yeah. Chisora, Usyk, and thinking about Usyk being the king of the jungle, being the lion. And
he's the lion, the king of the jungle. Though?
Yeah, it is.
I'd say.
Always been known as the king of the jungle.
Do you not say that the elephant is the more dangerous?
This is what we're going back to the size thing.
What's up, y'all? Good morning.
The lion is. If the elephant was coming towards the lion would just quickly move, get to the round the back.
You're saying the lion would actually sort of pivot around the elephant, is what you actually
could even go under the elephant's legs, get round the back of him, jump on the top of the elephant.
But if it's under the elephant's legs, the elephant's all it's got to
do
is
sit
sit
in
on
circle. Say the lion gets round the back of the elephant. How does the elephant then turn round? It's too slow.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to the SSC Arena, Wembley, London, England.
David,
for the official weigh-in for
to
Saturday night's Fright Night, big night of boxing action. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Betfred, Linistar, Wow Hydrate, and JD Sports. All the action will be televised and go live across.
What's up with y'all? Can y'all hear me?
On Sky Sports box office, and it'll go live around the world and in America on DAZN. It's an incredible fight card, 7 big fights, 5 title fights. So at this time, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to go ahead and bring the fighters up so they can face the scale and face each other. Our first fighter making her way to the stage, we've got a 10-round affair for the vacant Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Championship. Making her way up first, she's an undefeated southpaw fighting out of Liverpool. Please welcome Carly Skelly.
So, of course, we're going to talk about everything after the weigh-in. The weigh-in is going to be about a half an hour long. This is here live, real time. Then we're going to... They gonna get me copyrighted with that damn music. They better watch it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, her opponent making her way to the stage. She's a former world kickboxing champion. She's undefeated as a professional. 4 fights, 4 victories, fighting out of Southam. Please welcome Amy, the real baby-faced assassin, Timlin.
So Carly Skelly, 3 pound inside the super bantamweight limit, 8 stone 10, wherever you're watching around the world. Of course, translates to 55.2 kilos, 122 pounds. Both will need to weigh under that in order for the title to be on the line.
They need to chill with that music, man. They're starting to piss me off, damn it. They should know better.
888 for Amy Timlin. 8 stone, 8 pound, 8 ounces, Amy Timlin.
So both women comfortably inside the 8 stone 10 limit, and therefore the Commonwealth Super Bantamweight title is on the line for the first time on Saturday night. These two will do battle live.
All right, let's talk for a little minute, let you know what it is. Obviously, it's early here in the States. 9:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, October the 30th, 2020. I'm History Controversy, of course. This is History Controversy Live, and it's going to be busy today and tomorrow. So today on the schedule, we got the Tank Davis Leo Santa Cruz weigh-in at 1 p.m. Eastern. I reorganized the channel a little bit, and I'm working on some things that's hopefully going to be done by Sunday, definitely by the Devin Haney fight next week, and the Luis Ortiz and Frank Sanchez card. But basically, I'm changing all of this shit up. You know, this little setup I have is about a year or so old, 2 years, close to. Let's get back to the weigh-in, but we're going to talk about everything, the card, all of that after the weigh-in. This is live. Please subscribe.
coming by way of knockout. He's a former world title challenger fighting out of Mexico City, Ciudad de Mexico, Distrito Federal. Damas y caballeros, presentando Martín El Diablo Tequapetla. Tequapetla.
Yeah, that two-time shit is kind of annoying now that you pointed it out. Where'd this man come from? Y'all know this man?
To stop him in recent years, Julio.
With the ankle bracelet?
We saw what kind of form he was in last weekend. We took him a couple of rounds. So Chazz Witherspoon getting a stoppage this weekend would be a big statement, even though this is late notice for the Mexican. Should, in theory, take Chazz Witherspoon some rounds, which is just what he needs.
8 stone, 10.5 for Tequapetla. 8 stone, 10.5. And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the stage, 13-1, 6 knockouts. He's the former Scottish area and British bantamweight champion, fighting out of Glasgow, Scotland. Ladies and gentlemen, Chazz Witherspoon.
Remember Cannibal? Damn it, Diamante. Remember Gash Cannibal Ali? The one that bit David Price?
Fight, but McGregor, of course, got the decision. Eddie signed him up and said that rematch was in the plan.
Yeah, what's up with that ankle bracelet? Is that like a thing for men to do?
For this young man.
That's what y'all do?
Yeah,
y'all wear ankle bracelets?
Cash, really, really good. I've been so impressed with him. Developing nicely. Good team behind him. Great future in front of him. Expecting a good performance from him tomorrow night.
Robert Hassan, y'all both wear
9 stone, bang on for Chazz Witherspoon.
ankle bracelets?
9 stone, bang on for Chazz Witherspoon.
I feel good though being back doing all these streams again. Like I've been on my real boxing shit the last like couple of weeks. Feels pretty good. Cause y'all know I'll go through like months of like bullshitting around.
Martin Tequapetla, 10 rounds, bantamweight, Saturday night, matchroom boxing.
But no, we back.
Talking to his coach in the lift on the way down to breakfast this morning, and he said just the most diligent boxer.
I ain't even say your name, Marvin. You wear ankle bracelet
somebody like this again
with motherfucking little dangle pieces hanging off of it, little jewels.
Always puts in everything in every session, always there for his runs.
You motherfuckers.
Every trainer,
they'll be having little dangly jewels and shit.
And everything else we've seen from him in the ring to know that he's living the right life outside.
Little trinkets.
It means
the commission has changed the weight for Farouk. It is.
How you change the weight? What? No, get him back on the scale. What is going on?
The commission has changed their announcement on Farouk. It is 886. The commission has made a change.
What? This shit is already on some weird shit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Tank Davis weigh-in though. We streaming that. It's at 1 o'clock Eastern, my time.
This one calls Chazz Witherspoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest for the evening that we're going ahead and weighing in right now. 6 rounds in the super bantamweight division, making her way to the stage. Her young professional record thus far perfect. 1 fight, 1 victory. That victory came.
This chick's supposed to be good.
Knockout.
Like in the future, she's supposed to be like big shit.
Please welcome Eva Hubmaier.
Not her, the other chick. I forgot her name.
Not a great deal known about Eva Hubmaier. Just 1-0 on her record. Of course, Ramla Ali making her debut as well. This one's slated at Super Bantam, so 8 stone 10, 122 pounds.
I was on house arrest at 16 years old. Ain't that some fucking crazy shit? What type of shit was I on? I was a fucking weirdo, man. I was a lost ass youth. They tried, but actually, I didn't do that shit. They tried to. I was out doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing anyway.
2.5 for Hubmaier. 9 stone 2.5 for Eva Hubmaier.
They tried to accuse me of stealing a car when I didn't even know how to drive.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, making her way to the stage, representing 258 Management. Saturday night, she makes her much anticipated professional debut, fighting out of London, England, by way of Mogadishu, Somalia. Please welcome Ramla Ali. Ali.
She was a novice national champion in 2015, 2016 England Boxing Elite National Championships and Box at the Great Britain Championships as well. As you heard there, she moved to England from Somalia as a war refugee, started boxing as a teenager. box at the World Championships a couple of years ago. Part of the 258 stable under Anthony Joshua's management label as well. Of course, he and Lawrence Okoli.
8 stone 12 and 3/4 for Ramla Ali. 8 stone 12 and 3/4 for Ramla Ali.
Yeah, it's that featherweight limit is
Ramla
9 stone.
Ali. Ramla.
Over the super bantamweight limit, but I think at this stage of the career, it's kind of nothing really of note. Is it really, Darren?
No, of course not. I'm looking forward to this one. Been impressed with Ramla Ali inside the ring. I've seen a little bit of her before,
Ali
but
v.
outside the ring
Hutmeyer,
also.
6-round super bantamweight Saturday night matchroom boxing.
Yeah, she's supposed to be big shit going forward in the future. We're going to see, though. We're going to see.
Still want to know how you think an elephant beats a lion.
Well, just think it only needs to land one shot, doesn't it, really? For all the
Too
lion's
slow.
speed.
So what's his finishing move?
Yeah, basically, she's one to watch out
I
for.
just don't think it's going to be quick enough.
Well, we'll agree to disagree. It's almost like an analogy for the main event on Saturday.
I've
Darren.
never seen an elephant hunting packs either. Lions do.
They don't need to hunt in packs. That's why.
Too slow.
It's good. It's good chat.
The hell are these guys talking about, man? So yeah, looks like Dave Allen versus Don King can be a fucking son of a bitch. Let me tell you, Don King, and I don't like talking bad about the elderly, but that's one fucked up old man. That's one fuck. We got to talk about that. You heard what he did to poor Chris Lovejoy?
Vacant European Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing up first.
So once again, we're going to talk about everything after the weigh-in.
25 victories.
It's about 3 more
One
fights
defeat,
left.
2 draws. He's got 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Ninova in East Flanders, Belgium. Please welcome the IBF Intercontinental Cruiserweight Champion, Bellew. Bilanamo Lagoon.
Surprisingly, Eddie Hearn actually trained in boxing. Surprisingly.
He's a really good.
I mean, you would think he would have some type of experience growing up in the sport.
McCarthy said he's confident that
even if he wasn't trash, but he still got some type of hands. And he's 6'5". Yeah, that was real fucked up what he did. Like, real fucked up. Especially when you look at the situation with Trevor Bryan. And who's the other fighter he has that's like inactive? Like, bro, Don King, bro.
14 stone 3.5 for Lagoon. 14 stone 3.5 for Lagoon.
He doesn't look in incredible shape, Darren, but he's bang on the weight.
No, we've seen it time and time before. Fighters that don't look amazing, but have got
and
engine.
his opponent right now making his way to the stage. 16 victories against 2 defeats. He's got 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Belfast, Northern Ireland. He is the WBC International Cruiserweight Champion. Please welcome the Mac Attack, Tommy McCarthy.
When I first met Don King, he smelled like mothballs. Like mothballs and brute.
McCarthy, 16-2 now, those 2 defeats. Matty Askin 4 years ago, Richard Riatford last year.
Mothballs, brute.
Much improved under Pete
Just
Taylor,
mothballs and brute and peppermints.
Calculated performance against the former Italian cruiserweight champion.
Like his jacket, that denim joint.
Showed a lot in terms of patience and punch.
That denim jacket he be wearing. Let me tell you, so it's my first time ever meeting Don King. This was at the Wilder Stavern 2. Like put that shit on your hand. That shit. What's that shit called? That's brute, right? Like it was a little silver top. You'll take it and just like that shit. He smelled like that shit, like old ass aftershave. And I'm looking at his hair. And I'm like, so what does he do? Does he like comb it up? Like what the fuck do he be doing? But yeah, that's fucked up what he did to Lovejoy, man. You know, so here's the story. Here's me paraphrasing. So Chris Lovejoy and Dave Allen was supposed to fight on this card. The fight had like a little bit of, momentum because Dave Allen, he's a charismatic dude and, he moves the needle. So a couple nights ago, was it the night before, Eddie Hearn get a phone call like, yo, Chris Lovejoy is my fighter. And, do the Don King voice. And basically, like, he wanted some crazy amount of money. And Eddie Hearn was like, all right, fights off. Fuck that shit. Crazy. You know, and he's like he's known for doing this, like stalling shit out. He be wanting purse bids and shit, man. Like, he known for doing that shit, yo. So he got a fighter by the name of Trevor Bryan, who's the WBA interim. He is trying to wait for the dust to settle to have his fighter Trevor Bryan fight Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. Like, he's got some scheme going on for some big type of comeback plan, and I just hope it don't work. No bullshit. He got this big scheme going on with the heavyweight division he's trying to get involved in. And he got this little tiny golden ticket with that WBA bullshit interim belt. It's bullshit, man. It makes me sick. Boxing is weird as shit. And WBA president Gilberto Mendoza, you make me sick. Look at Coogan. Old bent legs. Cougs. Just joking. Makes me sick, man. But yeah, I am excited. So how many fights am I'm covering? At least 3 fights on this card. I'm covering, of course, the main event, Usyk versus Chisora. The last 3 weigh-ins are about to be up next. Savannah Marshall versus Hannah Rankin. Lee Selby versus George Kambosos Jr. to be the IBF 135-pound mandatory for Teofimo Lopez. The winner has to shine. If they don't shine, Teofimo will likely move up, and the belts will be fractured. So if these guys end up looking like shit, you know, then Teofimo gone. But I'm covering...
People from the training team is here. Gary Jacobs, former Scottish champion. Let's give him...
I'm not doing fucking shout-outs. Fucking shout-outs and shit. Yeah, he been like interim champion for like... Fuck it. Let's not start. So, what was I saying? What the fuck was I saying? Oh, you know, and then, of course, the main event. So I'm covering 4 fights on this card. Who's next?
By way of knockout.
Oh, here we go.
She's the former IBO World and WBC Silver Champion, fighting out of Glasgow, Scotland.
Covering boxing.
The unified titles at middleweight too.
11 stone 4 1/4 for Hannah Rankin.
If you have a chance to watch this fight just to look at this girl's style. And she's a pretty motherfucker too.
And her opponent
pretty as
now
shit.
making her way to the stage. Her professional record thus far perfect. 8 fights, 8 victories.
Please
6
don't
of them
Me Too
coming
me.
by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated 2-time Olympian fighting out of Hartlepool, England. Here is Savannah, the silent assassin, Marshall.
She fight like a lady Tyson Fury. Like, she will box your ears off if she got this crazy head movement, bro.
As a pro was 163 1/4 against Borislana Goranova in May last year. She'll need to come in nearly 4 pounds lighter than that header tomorrow night.
Oh, and she's down at 160 now.
Having not made this championship weight before.
11 5 1/4 for Savannah Marshall. 11 5 1/4 for Savannah Marshall.
She is over half a pound under the weight, and that's good. And that means that we have a fight and we have a title on the line.
At last.
At last.
You know.
So if I'm correct,
I'm looking forward to this one. 2 very good fighters. 2 fighters that are desperate to win this world title. And
isn't this one of Clarissa Shields' vacated titles?
I just feel that they're going to meet in the centre.
From when she had beat Hammer?
I know how tough Rankin is. I know how strong Savannah Marshall is. And I think the styles are just going to gel, and it's going to be fireworks.
And the discipline to kind of stay on weight and maintain that calorie deficit for another 2 weeks. Will that have affected one more than the other? I guess we may find out tomorrow.
Well, basically, I'll tell you the whole story.
10 rounds for the vacant WBO middleweight
they got an interesting story,
of the world.
And it's building to a super fight. Her and Clarissa Shields. She beat Clarissa Shields in the amateurs. 2 different styles.
Utterly spoiled by
Clarissa Shields is a tank, pressure fighter, power puncher. There is Peter Fury. Here, let's mute it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the Sky Sports stream too, because what they do is, I forgot to pull it up earlier, is they do interviews after each of the weigh-ins. So yeah, I like to believe, which people have told me that I have a reputation on YouTube for not, holding no line. Basically, telling this shit like it is, being authentic. So when I'm saying like, y'all need to check this girl out. She can beat Clarissa Shields. And if Clarissa Shields was to beat her, Clarissa Shields can solidify her GOAT status to me. Now, I'm not none of these motherfucking simpleton casuals out here who likes to look at these women because they got fat asses. I'm here to cover the fucking sport. So it's like this, yeah, you can be all on that shit, all on Twitter and Instagram. I'm not saying Clarissa Shields in general, but female fighters who, like to, like to cater to the simps. It's like, I want to see you fight. Yeah, I'm like, looking at you and shit, but when it comes to boxing, I want to see you fight. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, Savannah Marshall's good. Like, she's good. She's good.
IBF Lightweight Championship of the World.
And she don't get enough,
courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom
respect.
Boxing in association with Lou DiBella's DiBella Entertainment. Introducing up first to the stage, undefeated as a professional, 18 fights, 18 victories, 10 of them coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and proudly representing his home of Sydney,
How
New
dare you?
South Wales, Australia. Here is the WBA Oceania and IBF Pan-Pacific champion, George Ferocious Kambosos Jr. Kambosos Jr.
God, yo, that shit is really annoying.
Done over 100 rounds with the 8th Division World Champion. And he sparred over 20 World Champions on the road in his career as a lightweight contender, but he's really keen to step out of the shadow now, become his own man, and not be seen as a top-level sparring partner, but as a
top-ranked fighter. Like, no one has corrected me.
9 3/4 for George Ferocious Kambosos Jr.
Yo, this is a very interesting, intriguing fight.
The lightweight limit in stone for those of you watching.
And his opponent now making his way up to the stage. His professional record, 28 victories, 2 defeats. He has 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Barry, Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former IBF featherweight
Watch you gonna do that two-time shit.
Lightning Lee Selby.
By the way, can we get some
Selby.
Damn you,
Feels
Diamante.
like a chapter.
By the best he's ever
Lee
looked.
Selby, 9 3/4.
And I don't think, Darren, as he was happy to admit yesterday, that even the lightweight limit is now easy for him at this age. That's just sometimes
I think that's the best he's ever looked.
And once you do let it expand,
And I cover
it
Lee
doesn't wanna
Selby
go back to
fights.
where it was.
It's hard, and when you get older and you've got all those miles on the clock, you've achieved your ultimate goal. It's so hard to lose the weight, and I wouldn't say he struggled, but I wouldn't have said it was easy. But he's fighting a young, ferocious man in Kambosos who really believes it's his time.
Yeah, is that hunger and that fire going to just be the difference in there tomorrow night if things get really tough? We saw it against Omar Douglas. We saw it in spots against Ricky Burns, which was a knife-edge encounter for Lee Selby. And Kambosos said he lacks the punch power in this division. You could certainly argue that is the case, and we certainly know.
I don't ever remember
Kambosos
him
as a
looking,
lightweight, he doesn't lack the
this
punch
good.
power in this division. He's gonna be the
Pause.
puncher in there.
He's aggressive. He likes to be on the front foot, moving forward, landing big bombs. So I expect fireworks from the off. I really do.
Selby v. Kambosos, 12 rounds for the final eliminator for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World.
I don't mean to keep bitching and complaining about it, but them sneakers that Lee Selby has on, I had a pair, my dog ate them.
12 rounds. How well can Kambosos cut that ring off?
Deeply
Step
upset.
off, you know,
Deeply
we see
upset.
Selby likes to kind of check hook and exit to the left. Can Kambosos shut that exit off, land those straight right hands down the middle? He puts his shots together really well, Kambosos. And against Douglas and some of his other fights with Selby, when he
We're going to
has
go head
those
over to
feet
Sky
and stay
for a
in
little
front of the man,
bit,
that's
see what
when
they're
he's been
doing
caught.
at their
He's
weigh-in.
shown a good chin to this point, to be fair.
Yeah, let's
to
do
him,
it this
but
way. Hopefully I don't
at this
lag.
stage of his career, miles on the clock, bit of wear and tear, and a ferocious puncher who will not stop from first to last. This is going to be a tough night for himself.
Oh, it will be. For as long as this fight lasts, it's going to be tough. I struggle. I think
There's a delay on Sky's stream.
Just being the younger, fresher man, and when I've watched him, I've been very impressed with Lee
We know
Selby.
really well, and George Kambosos
coming up with
Jr.,
the
who
weight.
we've got to know very well this week.
We
he's,
can't show the
as I said,
Sky
got a
stuff. That's
huge
why I had to
team
block it
around
out.
him as he begins the rehydration process already, and we're going to grab a word with him. He hasn't been shy in giving interviews this week, George. He's been full of confidence. Let's talk again. What did it feel like to be up there on the scale with Lee Selby? You sparred together a while back, a few rounds. Now you're up close and personal, and you do it for real.
It's good, man. I'm excited. I couldn't wait for this moment. I made the weight easy. I'm a professional athlete. I train extremely hard, so the weight is never a problem. We're ready. Like I told him face to face, I'm all in.
Is that what you were saying to him up there?
All in. I'm all in.
You're the warrior, and you want to, whatever happens, go out with that mandatory position to fight Teofimo Lopez. You've got no doubts about this, but Lee Selby is class.
Look, like I've said, I respect him as a former world champion, but that's over. This is a new gen. Like I said, I'm all in. I need this. This is my shot. This will be my win.
And just for those who haven't seen you before, just a final word on your style and how exciting you're going to make this Halloween night.
Ferocious. That's what it's going to be.
Wish you well, George. Thanks very much. Rest up, rehydrate. And these are the hours, the crucial hours before battle. Are fighters calm now they can eat?
We'll go back over to the Matchroom
Depending on
stream.
the personality. Some fighters overthink.
I'm gonna keep that open though for the interviews.
Go back, eat the food, feel comfortable.
Keep that open for the interviews. Turn this up.
A fascinating fight, and how lucky we are to
my level, the floor I'm on, and I'm in the lift with Usyk. You know, it's crazy. I'm a super
Oh wait, they
fan.
got
yeah.
It's just mad.
I was just picking up on Kambosos. He looks confident. And do you know what? You know when some fighters they speak it very, very well and they give off an impression of.
Oh shit.
I was just stood there, just listening to him talk. I'm really looking into his eyes.
For Saturday night, 12 rounds for the WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr.
I was going to be the
Eddie
Crow
of
for
Matchroom
Halloween.
Boxing, in association with K2 Promotions and Haymaker Boxing. Now on the scale, 32-9, 23 knockouts. Fighting out of Finchley, North London, England, the former British, the former Commonwealth, the former European, the former WBA and WBO International Champion, and the reigning WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Del Boy, Derek Chisora. 18-3.5 for Del Boy, 18-3.5 for Derek Chisora.
Hey, what's that in pounds? Because he looks in great shape.
Well, just a normal day when Derek Chisora is
And
around.
now making his way to the stage, here is the highly skilled and celebrated southpaw, undefeated as a professional, 17 fights, 17 victories, 13 of them coming by way of knockout. He's the 2012 Olympic gold medalist and the former undefeated.
Hey, we need these in pounds, man. Somebody help us out.
Cruiserweight champion of the world.
All right, let me pull out my
from
phone.
Kiev, Ukraine, Fanny Topanova, Oleksandr Usyk.
So what was it? 18 stone what in pounds?
Usyk.
In ounces? Stone into pounds. So he 252?
Be fascinating from from a good
I like the
Marvel
Scully.
film, but this is a true Halloween special between these two. And Derek, as we
Oh, let's
knew
hold
he
over
would,
to Sky
crank
for the
things up a
interview.
notch. We hear there's quite an interesting IFL interview with Kugan Cassius that's on the way with him as well. So keep your eye.
Okay, they're playing music over there. So what we're doing is we're going to listen to the Sky Sports has a bit of a delay, but because they're still over, they're still over in the face-off over here. So we're going to wait for the how it works is we're streaming from the Matchroom channel, but Sky Sports gets the interviews first because it's pay-per-view, Sky Sports. So, and Matchroom, no disrespect to them, like their private YouTube channel, which they have a great digital team, they get like who's ever left, the trickles, you know, but Sky gets first dibs. So he just headed over to Sky right now. Let's listen in.
What did you say to him up there?
I told him I'm bringing the African Mandingo style. I'm going to rough and tough him. I'm going to war the African style. He's going to come with a European style. I am going to war. That's all I know right now.
Yesterday,
Also,
was a
please
hug,
like the video.
an embrace
Thanks.
of respect, because you have a lot of respect for Oleksandr Usyk. What was it today, though?
Today's war time. It's fight time. So I am going to war. Don't miss it. I'd rather him knock me out. Also, I've done nothing.
18-3.5, a great weight for you as well. Do you feel the best you felt in a long, long time?
I'm fit and you'll be very surprised what's going to be happening in the ring.
So what does happen? Look down that barrel, look down that lens, and tell them what happened Saturday night.
Either we knock him out or he's going to quit on his stool. That's what we're going for.
Derek, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll see Derek like that. Tomorrow, always going to get the makeup off, Dave.
I think the board might have something to say about that.
David, come on in. David Hay with us. Well, did you apply the makeup or was that Nicole?
No, he's. I think Derek did it himself. He's just in the zone now. Earlier on, he was a bit off. And
that's what I heard. All calm and no nerves all week, and then today changed.
All of a sudden it just switched. You know, today we were seeing him pacing up and down outside on the balcony, you know, just ignoring everybody, and then he sort of comes out of his change room all flagged up in his outfit. But that's how he looks, is how where his mindset's at, and it's ready for war. It's ready for war. He knows he's fit. He knows he's got 12 rounds of action in him, and he wants to do damage. He really wants to do damage. You know, I'm trying to tell him he wants to do some workouts. He wants to go back to the gym and say, no, relax, hold it in till tomorrow.
Getting into the Halloween theme, of course, but actually up there it looked fairly fiery with him and Usyk. Very different to yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday it was all love and smiles and hugs, but now I think that weigh-in days when you see the other man in shape, and he knew he was getting up there. He knew he was going to be eye to eye with a man he's going to have to go to battle with. You know, this is going to be an epic battle. He knows it. Any other performance in his life would not be good enough to win tomorrow. So he's got to do something he's never done before. And to do that, he's had to push himself further than ever before. That's what the confidence he has. That's why he's in there. He's pushing it. He wants to do it now. He would fight now if he could. He's gutted he has to wait till tomorrow.
You knew what shape Derek would come in at. You've been with him every day. What about how Oleksandr's come in around about the 15-7 mark, slightly up on what he was with Chazz Witherspoon? Of course, you made that move up to heavyweight. Do you think that's the right weight for him, and how did he look to you?
He looked good. He looked healthy. He looked like he was ready. And I expect we're training for the best Usyk. We're not training for a slow. We're not training for a slow Usyk. We're training for the best Usyk we can ever. And he's gonna, because he has to be able to go to war with this guy. And good luck to Usyk, but he's going to need something significantly. He's going to need to do something significantly better than he's ever done before to be able to withstand Derek for 12 rounds.
And how do you think Derek will be in
big
these
shit they
final
talking.
hours, or can you not predict that?
I don't know. I'm not sure he's going to sleep. He's really pumped up. He's been screaming and shouting, walking up and down the corridors. I don't know how he's going to sleep, to be honest, but he's in the right place. Mentally, he's now switched on. Yesterday, it was great seeing the respect and that, but the fight can't be respectful. The fight's got to be all-out war. You can't. It's got to be. It's got to be effective aggression. He's got to be able to go out there and implement a game plan that no one's ever done before. And I believe we found him. Looking at him on the scales, the weight's perfect. He's in tremendous condition. He's not looking at pitter-patter punches. He's looking at doing damage.
Dave, what was Derek like on the nights and the mornings when you had him?
He flicks a switch, and when he knows it's time to go to war, it's time to go to war. But this is the most intense that I've seen. He flipped the switch on that stage. Getting up close and personal in Usyk's face.
I wonder what Adam Booth is up to.
This is going to be rough. This is going to be tough. There's not going to be any respect for this.
Let's bring in Oleksandr. Great to see you. Alex as well, who'll do the translating. First of all, it was all hugs and embraces yesterday. It looked pretty serious up there. What were you saying to each other?
Вчера это были обнимашки, выглядело очень симпатично, сегодня уже было очень серьезно. Что вы друг другу говорили?
Он говорил мне, что я знаю, что ты меня понимаешь, и он все время повторял «война, война».
He kept saying that I know you understand what I'm saying, and he continued war, war, war.
What did Oleksandr make of the disguise, of the Halloween attire?
Какие твои впечатления от его Хэллоуин прикида?
Он делает то, что ему нравится.
He does what he likes to do.
He does exactly. He's Derek Chisora. What about Oleksandr Usyk and the shape that you're in? About 15.5 stone. Is that perfect for you? Everything gone right?
Форма, в которой ты сейчас находишься, тот вес, который ты показал, это все нормально, так как и должно быть?
Да, великолепно. Могло бы быть больше.
That's exactly the shape I entered to be, and it could be a bit more. But
Eddie Hearn is probably next and last.
Will the weight difference make any difference in the fight?
Сможет ли разница
Post weigh-in
в весе
interviews.
показать в бою разницу?
А какая разница была в весе?
What was the difference in weight?
Almost 3 stone, so 15.7 to 18.3.5, so a lot of weight.
Много.
What's the weight difference?
In kilos, it's around 15 kilos.
217, and what did Chisora weigh? 255?
No worries.
No worries at all.
And how important is it, Oleksandr, to make a statement here to the whole of the heavyweight world with Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Alexander Povetkin, all fighting in the coming weeks. How important is it to make a real memory here in London?
Насколько важно для тебя сделать заявление в субботу? Насколько важно среди всех хэвивейтов, которые в ближайшее время дерутся, Джошуа, Поветкин, Уайт, насколько важно именно для тебя сделать серьезные заявления в супертяжелом весе?
Важно сделать хорошее заявление для того, чтобы потом люди желали боксировать, хотели, и не было такого вот то, что можешь ты или не можешь. То есть нужно сделать для того, чтобы об этом не говорили.
It's important to make a good statement Saturday night to avoid any hesitations of my opponents in future, because now people say whether you can or you cannot, they don't believe, they don't trust me. So Saturday night I'm gonna make my statement in heavyweights.
Но люди все равно будут говорить.
But people gonna still say.
И это их проблема.
And it's not my problem, it's their problem.
Finally, I've got to ask, how do you feel?
I'm very Phil. Yeah.
Alexander, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thanks, Alex, as always. Dave, stay with us just for a moment. Thank you. We'll just finish it off. Come around here, Dave.
Dave, how are you?
Great team around him, as
Yeah,
always,
good people.
Alexander.
Yeah, very good people. Obviously I've got.
Yeah. All right. So, where do we begin? I guess we got to talk about the card. Here, let me move this over here. Put this over here. Yeah, we do it this way. Get on out of here. 2 p.m. Eastern on the zone. In fact, let me confirm that now. Let's go see what time this card starts. I think it's 2 p.m. on the zone. The zone schedule is starting to pick up. Word circulating around that Golovkin's going to be back in December. And could we possibly see Canelo in December? I don't think so, though. I think Canelo may be January. So tomorrow, by the way, Munguia versus Turiano Johnson is tonight at 8 p.m. on the zone. Tomorrow here in the States, this card starts at 2 p.m. on the zone. Okay. So let's look at it. The fights I'm covering on the card is, of course, going to be the main event, Oleksandr Usyk versus Derek Chisora, Lee Selby versus George Kambosos, and Savannah Marshall versus Hannah Ronkin. We don't know the status of Dave Allen versus Chris Lovejoy, but I would think that it's canceled, right, because they didn't weigh in. You know, so how that fight's off. If you don't know, Don King threw a monkey wrench into the plans of that fight. Basically called Eddie Hearn up a couple of nights ago to say, hey, Chris Lovejoy can't fight allegedly unless you give me a certain amount of money, allegedly. And Eddie Hearn was like, yo, what the fuck? All right, you know. So apparently it wasn't disclosed when Chris Lovejoy signed the contract. It's like weird. It's like, what? The fight I'm looking forward to the most on the whole card is this fight right here, because this fight between Lee Selby, former 126-pound champion, at 28-2 with 9 KOs. Well, he wasn't champion at 130, was he? No, just once. Yeah, he skipped 130. 28-2 with 9 KOs, 33 years old. I don't, it's hard. I can't say this is a must win for him, you know? I mean, yeah, he wants to, you know, but he can still get good fights. But if he don't win, I don't see him ever getting to an eliminator status, so I guess it is a must win. His last fight was over a year ago at 135 against Ricky Burns. Just over a year ago. Yeah, 1 week ago. Then before that, I was actually kind of, you know, surprised at his performance against Omar Douglas. I covered these fights. I covered his fight against all these fights right here. I covered all of these fights. Even when Philadelphia's Eric Hunter fought him. So at 126, he had a nice little run. It's just that when it was time for him, you know, to really, really fight a big fight, and it was the Josh Warrington fight, he lost. And these are two guys that are not known to have, like, power. You see what I'm saying? So he just plain old lost. Now, George Kambosos, he is a wild card right there. At 18-0 with 10 KOs. I don't remember how the Mickey Bay fight went. I do not remember. I'm sorry, I don't. But he doesn't have nowhere near the resume as Lee Selby, but he is a natural 135 pounder. I'm not saying that Lee Selby wasn't, but overall, I don't know. Lee Selby's a big dude in height, but just a more acclimated fighter at the weight, it seems as though, acclimated, right? So he's seems as though to be George Kambosos, the Australian Lou DiBella fighter. All week I was saying he was top ranked, and he's not. He's the Lou DiBella fighter. And he's over here because of the purse bid. Matchroom won the purse bid, correct? A deal wasn't done. I don't remember exactly how it went. But the winner of this has to look good because Teofimo Lopez is going to be watching. And this fight could very well decide if he's going to stay at 135 pounds or not. Because it's looking like this. Teofimo Lopez, we're not going to talk about this franchise at Undisputed. Let's just say that his next fight, in my opinion, is going to be either against Lomachenko in a rematch. A Lomachenko rematch is looking likely. But how long does it take Lomachenko to recover from that surgery? That shit might be a year off, right? Anybody know the particulars of that? If it's not that, then my heart says it's going to be Devin Haney. And I think they should do the fans a favor and give us Devin Haney. But nothing will be decided until after Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia is over, because Ryan Garcia is also in the mix. And Ryan Garcia, believe it or not, or whether we like it or not, moves the needle more than Devin Haney. And if there's a chance to make to make Teofimo Lopez versus Ryan Garcia on ESPN, regular ESPN, I would jump on it. I mean, I can't lie. I want the Devin Haney fight. I can't lie, but if they got a chance to make Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia has to defeat. When is that? December the 5th? It's like a midday-ish card, early evening card, where you're going to have Ryan Garcia take on Luke Campbell. I don't think that Ryan Garcia beats Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell Ryan Garcia is good. He's got some I don't think that Ryan Garcia beats Luke Campbell. I'm sorry. We're going to have to see. He will return in April. Well, there you go. And Devin Haney, he's got to put a boot in Gamboa ass. He can't go out there fucking around with that old Gamboa. Like, listen, I didn't like that fight when they announced it. I'm like, yo, all right, I understand it's Devin Haney. And, he doesn't have as much experience. And if he was able to do better than Tank Davis did, it's kind of a sign. But he's coming off a significant injury when he had 1 foot and 1 shoe. And I like Devin Haney. But it's like, yo, bro, it's like, you better fuck that. You better fuck him up. Fuck that old man up. Kick his ass. I don't want to see him go to this. I want to see him go out there and fucking, I'm sorry, Gambo. I want to see you fucking fucked up. Healthy fucked up. I don't want to see you hurt, but I want to see you beat the fuck up. Shit, man. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little untethered. All right? I apologize. And the language is early. I'm sorry. It's early, the language. So, yeah. This fight has a lot of significance. So I don't want to be here at Saturday? It's going to be like fucking 4 p.m. or some shit, 5 p.m. I don't want to be here watching this fight, and I'm like, this boring ass shit. These motherfuckers done fucked up the bag. But I think that for us, the fans, and it would clear up a lot of shit if it's not Loma next, then T.O. versus Devin Haney. Like, fans would love that shit because we'd be like, yo, they finally giving us something that we want. And that would answer a lot of questions with that franchise WBC shit. And I had another point, too, that I forgot. Because we got to move on down to the main event. Doggone it. What was the other point? Dang. That little rant kind of messed me up there. Oh, well. On to the main event. Wait, maybe if I look at the rankings, it'll jog my memory. Nope. All right, well then on to the next. I got a little bit of a fear that he might get cracked. But at the same time, I want to see him get punched in the face. I want to see how he handles a punch. I want to see he's hurt a little bit. Oh, I want to see that shit. But he's telling us clearly what his game plan is, and it's the smart game plan. This is a gold medalist and a very, very highly intelligent boxer. He knows that he don't want to sit there and take unnecessary boxing, like fighting. He knows, because Derek Chisora said out of his own mouth twice at the final press conference and during the Zoom call the day before, I can't box. Look, I'm going to have to eat some leather. I'm not going out there to try to box this dude. That's dumb. I'm going out there to try to, pretty much fuck him up, to be in his face. All I want is a good ref that's going to let us work. And him and David Haye, they've been like putting that out there in the media. We need a good ref. Make sure to let us work, because they know they're going to have to follow him around and hopefully catch him, slipping, leaning on the ropes or something, and just start loading up. This is a really, really, really good test for Usyk's, durability and endurance and all that at heavyweight. 17-0 with 13 KOs. By the way, before he made his HBO debut, I binged all of his fights. They're easily and readily available on YouTube. What was the first fight of his I covered? Was it Glowacki? It wasn't Glowacki. Was it Glowacki? It had to be Glowacki. It had to be Glowacki. That was the first fight I ever did like a live stream, like a live video for. I should check the channel real quick because that's bugging me. But we don't have time. We only got 5 minutes left. But yeah, all these fights, you can watch them on YouTube. And on Daily Motion, like they're readily available. So I was like, oh shit, this guy like kind of good. But when I first started watching him, I'm like, yo, he a little weird. Like he remind me like a vampire, because he had a little crazy hairstyle and shit, But charismatic dude. Like when he starts speaking English, and I know he can speak English, but he's probably just getting comfortable. Like he's going to be a problem. The question is, and I got a chance to size him up too. He was in Philly when I was at Volzdik versus Bertabiev. So Volzdik is also in Team Igis Klimas with Loma and of course Usyk. So they were here in support. So at the hotel, saw him in the lobby, saying like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, respect. And I looked at him, it's like, yo, he's not as small as people think. I mean, he's small for a heavyweight, but it's not as small as people think, especially when you look at what Deontay Wilder be weighing in at sometimes, and Deontay Wilder being taller. So he's not as small, and I think the biggest question people have is how would he react or be able to get inside against guys like a 6'6", Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. And what happens when because he's going to have to take one punch. He's going to have to take one punch. Shut the fuck up, proud father. Shut the fuck up, man. The Pet Cemetery, what? That's one of my favorite horror movies, bro. Like when he be on the plane and shit, like, don't go, turn around. Or some shit. Deserve better. But anyway, yeah. So the winner of this is obviously WBO mandatory. Right now, we don't know if Usyk, if he were to win, would he go in and force, the WBO to be like, yo, I don't give a fuck about Fury versus Joshua, which is supposed to happen in April. I want my WBO title. But something's telling me he would wait for the winner. But the thing is, they talking about 2 fights, And I get all that, but when it comes to the belts, it's like, yo, y'all can't do that. Like, y'all did that shit with Wilder Fury 1 and 2. Held up the WBC title. Now, Derek Chisora has said that if he were to win, he would step aside if the money were right, and I'm pretty sure they would make the money right. Because he wants to see the fight too. Yeah, he's mandatory, but it's on the line technically now. It's on the line. And Deontay Wilder, no telling what the fuck he's doing. I can do a whole stream video on him. So let me tell you what we're doing. Since we're on a tight schedule, I'm going to be back here at 12:55 p.m. Eastern. The link is on the channel. Let me put the link in the chat so you guys can get it. It's the Tank Davis Leo Santa Cruz weigh-in. We're going to be here live streaming that. I'm covering actually 4 fights on that card. That's tomorrow night on Showtime pay-per-view. We're going to be having the fighters. They do it differently. After every fight, they have media availability Zoom. So there's no post-fight press conference with all of the fighters. After every fight, they bring the fighters in for a Zoom. So therefore, at the end of the night, after all the fights are over from Inoue versus Maloney, we're going to be here for that weigh-in too later on. This card, actually, we're doing a stream after this card. We're doing a stream after Usyk versus. It's going to be busy. I'm going to be busy as shit tomorrow, all right? So just check in on the channel. I won't have to hold your hands, man. I got to go get some breakfast. That's the link to the next stream, which is at 1 p.m. Eastern for the Tank versus Leo weigh-in. And I want to see if they have to carry Tank Davis to the scale. I think he's going to make weight, but at what cost? At what cost? So listen, I'm out. I'm T Street Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. You already